All right. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you are joining us from today. Congratulations on your admission to the University of Southern California, Viterbi School of Engineering. You want to give yourself a round of applause. This is by no small feat that you've been admitted. All of your hard work has paid off, and get ready for the next part of your journey as you embark on this graduate school endeavor. So we want to congratulate all of you on your admission to the University of Southern California, Viterbi School of Engineering. We are going to go ahead and get started with today's presentation. As we do, I want to go over a few housekeeping notes. We ask that you all refrain from asking questions during the course of today's presentation. We have some really good information that we're going to give to all of you this morning, most of which will probably answer a lot of your questions. Ask that you guys hold off on asking questions until the very end. We have a part of the presentation that will allow for question and answers towards the end. So we'll open that up and we'll let you know when we are ready to start answering your questions. When you do ask questions, we're going to ask that you type them in the Q&A window. All right. You can see that there's two windows. You have a chat window and a Q&A window. Please refrain from using the chat window. We're going to use the Q&A window to ask questions. That's the one that we'll be monitoring to go over your questions as we move forward. All right. Sorry. So once again, congratulations and welcome to the University of Southern California. This is a really awesome shot of the center of our campus, also known as our Tommy Trojan statue, which is one of our figures on campus. This is a part of campus that you're going to get really familiar with as you're going to and from classes, and just a really awesome shot of our Bovard Auditorium, which a lot of activity happens in this part of campus. So something to look forward to as you guys arrive in person. Really quickly, I want to go over some numbers of the Viterbi School of Engineering. As you can see, we're home to 6,300 graduate students. These mostly are master students, but also some of our PhD students as well. We're also home to 17 full-time tenure-track National Academy of Engineering members. All right, so that's a really, really high distinction because there's a lot of research that goes into that, which I'll talk about in just a moment. We're number 12 in graduate engineering programs by US News and World Report. We have over 76,000 engineering alumni worldwide. So very, very robust, strong engineering alumni network. Research is really, really big at USC and really big within the Viterbi School of Engineering. We're home to 38 research centers and a leader in funded research. As you can see, we have hundreds of millions of dollars in annual research expenditures that go out every year. So lots of cutting edge research that happens within the School of Engineering. We're in the middle of LA. So if you've never been to our campus, this kind of gives you an idea of where we are located. Very centrally located in the heart of Los Angeles. We're about 3 miles from downtown Los Angeles, very close to the beach, very close to Hollywood, some of the features that many of you may be familiar with when you think of Los Angeles. As you can see on this map, this gives you an idea of kind of USC's reach throughout the Los Angeles area. We have our central campus, or our main campus of operation, which is where the Viterbi School of Engineering is located, as you can see right in the middle where it says USC. Then you can see north of that is downtown Los Angeles. And if you keep going north, we have one of our satellite campuses, which is the Keck School of Medicine, which is a part of USC as well. And then as you go south towards the beach, you will run into two of our research institutes. One is the Institute for Creative Technologies, or ICT, which is where a lot of our engineering students do research and collaborate at. And then we also have our Information Sciences Institute, or ISI, as it's noted, which is also very close to ICT and right along the beach. Now, one thing that you probably see in this photograph are a lot of familiar companies. You see Google and Yahoo, SpaceX, YouTube, right along the beach. This area of Los Angeles is known as Silicon Beach. Very similar to what many of you may know of as Silicon Valley, which is located in Northern California. And so a lot of startups, a lot of tech companies have sprung up along the beach here in Los Angeles and have been deemed or noted as Silicon Beach. And so many of our students are able to take advantage of the close proximity of this very high-tech area. So a lot of our students will do internships, be it during the year or over the summer. A lot of them get full-time employment offers through many of these companies because they're just in so close proximity to our campus. Speaking of careers, this is just a quick snapshot of what many of our computer science students do after they graduate. You can see like some of the amazing companies that many of our students will go off to work for after they finish their degrees, both undergrad, master's, and PhD degrees. So you can kind of get an idea of what our students do after they finish. I highly encourage you to take some time out and really kind of explore this. You can see, if you want to take a screenshot of the website below, you can see viterbigradamission.usc.edu employment outcomes CSDS. This will give you the opportunity to really take a deep dive and see where are students going, what are they doing, how much money are they making? That is a really, really big question that we get asked a lot. And so this will give you that opportunity to really take a look at that and see what the students are doing and where they're at and how, how that works for them after they finish graduating. Computer science, CS, is a very, very popular degree program, both at the undergraduate and graduate levels, highly sought after in every industry that you could possibly think of. When I talk to companies, they always are looking for computer science students at all levels. So you guys are on the right track, and there's a lot of opportunity that will be available for you once you graduate. Our community is extremely diverse. We have students from all over the world visiting and doing research and their graduate programs at USC, and specifically within the School of Engineering. We're home to a lot of geographic diversity. We have a lot of students that are domestically come from different parts of the United States, but also globally. So we have students that come from everywhere. And as you are joining us on this call today, many of you may be from different parts of the world. We're excited to have you on campus and welcome you into our community, and hope that you have an amazing experience and learn from people and students from all over the world and all over the country as well. We really encourage you in this, in the next few weeks and months as we lead up to the start of our fall semester, to reach out to some of our current students. We have a current student ambassador program with over 15 students that you're able to chat with and have dialogue with, and just kind of ask about what their experience is as a current master's student or a PhD student or a current Viterbi student, and just get an idea of what their life is like and what are some of the things that they love about their program and what are some of the things that they do in their free time. This is really helpful as you guys are kind of getting ready to make that transition and move to Los Angeles, to hear from current students about what that experience is. So we invite you to reach out and connect with our current student ambassadors. Once again, you might want to take a screenshot of this so you can follow up with that website. It's viterbigradamission.usc.edu/program/master/student life. We also encourage you to start to just kind of take a look at the website, maybe do the virtual tour, see what other parts of campus look like and feel like, and what the campus is. And so you can do that through our virtual tour, so you can get an idea of the buildings to help you better acclimate yourself once you're on campus. We want you to explore the many offerings of our student organizations and cultural communities, and we invite you to do that through the websites that you see listed here. We also want you to learn about student safety and wellness. Safety is a big part of our campus. And we invite you to really kind of take some time to learn about all of the safety measures that we have in place through the university that are at your disposal to make sure you have a safe, welcome, and warm experience. And then also check out the many international student support services that are offered through the University of Southern California. Two deadlines that we want you to remember, very, very important deadlines. The first is coming up in a couple of weeks, about a week and a half, actually. And this is April 15th, which is the last day to submit your financial documents. This is for our international students only. So you want to make sure that you're working on that and make sure that you get those documents in by April 15th. The last deadline is May 1st. That is the last day to submit the statement of intent and your commitment deposit via USC. All right. So what happens when you submit that commitment deposit by May 1st? The first thing is that you start to, a lot of resources become available to you. You get to access the pre-orientation resources. So as many of you are starting to think about what classes you're going to want to take and how do you start to prepare for orientation, you'll get those resources once you submit that commitment deposit and statement to intent by May 1st. You'll also be able to join the Viterbi Mentorship Program, connect with your department through academic webinars, as well as if you're a Den at Viterbi student, you'll be able to create your Den at Viterbi profile, as well as explore housing options. So the next phase of this journey starts when you submit your commitment deposit and your intent to enroll. All right, so, there may be questions that come up over the next few weeks. This is a very, very exciting time. We also understand that this is a very anxious time for many of you. So if you have questions, we understand, reach out to us via the website that you see listed here. We also encourage you to follow us on social media so you can stay up to date to various programs and activities that we're doing. The Viterbi School of Engineering is a very, very active, student active and student-centered school. So we do a lot of cool things that we want you guys to be a part of, even before you start. So we encourage you to follow us on Instagram as well as on Facebook. All right. So if you do have questions over the next few weeks, feel free to reach out to us and we will get those questions answered in a timely fashion. And once again, we are so excited to have you and we want to welcome you, our master students. So at this point in time, I'm going to turn the presentation over to our amazing computer science department. I have had the honor of working really closely with these two amazing people over my time in the Viterbi School of Engineering. So you guys are in great hands. I'm going to pass it over to Mara and Floor, who are going to talk to you more in depth about the computer science department and also introduce some current students to you that can share their current perspective of what it's like within the USC Viterbi School of Engineering Computer Science Department. So I'm going to pass it over to Mara and Floor at this point in time, and we'll be around to answer any questions at the end.
Thank you so much, Kevin. So again, thank you everyone for joining us. My name is Mara Reagan. I am one of the Computer Science Master's Advisors, and I'm joined by Floor, if you want to introduce yourself. That's okay. So Flor Martinez is here with us as well. She is one of the other computer science master's advisors. And then as Kevin mentioned, we also have two of our amazing master's students, Rafa and Kanika. Thank you guys so much for being here as well. And we will check in and talk with you after our presentation. So I'll go ahead and share my screen so we can get started. All right. So today we are just going to go over a few important pieces of information about the computer science department. So we'll go over just a brief department overview, the programs we offer, academic advisement, some career services, and then some common questions that we do tend to get. Again, it would be amazing if you guys hold off on your questions until after, because we definitely do have some time for that. So going into it, for the computer science department, our chair is Cyrus Shahabi. And for data science, our director is Yolanda Gill, and then associate director is Emilio Ferreira. So we do have both of the programs within our department. If you are pursuing a master's in computer science, typically our very, very popular one is going to be the general computer science track. This one is a 28-unit degree. We also do have other specializations, however, and they are listed there. As you can see, we do have the computer science data science. So this is actually different from the data science department. So we do have within computer science a data science specialization, software engineering, multimedia and creative technologies, computer security, game development. We have all of these listed on the computer science website, so you can definitely take a look at those a little bit more in depth if you are interested in any of these specializations. So a big kind of thing that we always get is a lot of our students will come in and they'll be interested in perhaps changing their track. Maybe they start in the general, and they realize that a specialization might be more the way that they're wanting to go. It's definitely possible to switch your track once you begin. We do ask that you wait until after your first semester is complete, and then we can go ahead and assist you with that potential change. So Master of Computer Science, we do also have a program called the Scientists and Engineers Specialization. This is a 37-unit specialization, and it is for our students that have a bachelor's degree in engineering, or science, but it's a little bit more limited, not so much of the computer science background. This would be the track that is probably the best for you. It does have a lot of the preparatory programming requirements, and those must be completed at USC. So unfortunately, they cannot be transferred in or waived. And then something important to know about this one in particular is that you actually cannot change out of this track. So if you are admitted to USC under the scientists and engineers track, that is where you will remain for the entirety of your program. And it is not possible to switch out of that one. So do keep that in mind. But again, this would be the track for you if you do have that limit in computer science background and not so much of that exposure. So we also, as I mentioned at the beginning, house the data science program within our department as well. So Masters of Science in Applied Data Science is our common one that students tend to pursue. It is a 32-unit degree track. Now, this is also something that students that maybe have a limited background in computer science, it might be what you're looking for. So if you do have that limited background and you are pursuing the data science program, you would start with our data science course 549. Again, all of the curriculum is listed on the website, so you can definitely look at those more in depth when you have time. If you have a little bit more of an advanced background and do have some of that computer science exposure, then we would start you in some more advanced courses, and that would be how you begin the program for the data science program. We do offer the chance to potentially waive out of some of the data science introductory courses. So definitely don't be worried. There is that opportunity. We do offer that before you begin the program. After the program starts, however, you're unable to waive out. So there will be a window that we do notify you of waiving. And again, we communicate with all of the students. We send many, many emails, so you don't need to be worried about missing any of that information. We also have the Masters of Science in Cybersecurity Engineering. This is another data science program that some of our students are interested in. This one is a 28-unit program. And again, all of this information is available there on the website, so you can either take a screenshot of this now and reference it later, or if you go to the computer science website through USC, you can also navigate to the computer science curriculums and the data science curriculums.
All of our interdisciplinary programs are 32 units. First, we have communication data science. In your first semester, you will take Comp 502 and DSCI 549. Our next program is Healthcare Data Science. You will be taking DME 527 and DSCI 549. Next, we have our Environmental Data Science program. First, you'll be taking ENS2 500 and DSCI 549. For students with advanced background in computer science, you may begin with other advanced courses, but please be sure you are properly waived from the intro courses before moving on.
Your microphone. You can set star
We typically send out a form for you to fill out every semester. So you don't
muted.
Okay, so sorry about that. Not sure if you heard that information, but that was just some of the information about some of the data science specializations there. But again, all of that information is on the website, so you can take a deeper look at that also. So next we'll kind of get into the advisement. So we do have kind of two different components of advisement in Viterbi. You have the academic department advisors, and then you have what we call the VACE advisors. And the VACE advisors are part of the Viterbi Admissions Student Engagement Office. And so we'll get into more specifics about what the VACE office assists our students with. So the VACE office is great for our international students. They help with a lot of visa-related questions, processes, OPT, CPT, reduced course loads. Those are going to be handled by the VACE office. The academic advisors, myself and Floor in the computer science department, we are more there to help you kind of plan out your schedule, make sure you're on track to graduate, if you have questions about the curriculum. So we very much so are more part of the academic part of your advisement assistance. And again, the VACE would be more anything kind of international visa related. They can also assist if you are a DEN student. The DEN office is housed within their office as well. So if you're a distance education network student, and need assistance with registering for classes or have any questions about making sure that there are accommodations for exams, that would be the VACE office. Okay, so now I will hand it over to Floor and she will continue with the rest.
Hey, good morning. Thank you, Mara. Good morning, everybody. So as you can see, is there an echo?
You're good now.
Okay, great. Okay, as you can see, we are at the CS department. We have a very large group of advisors. And currently, these are all the advisors that are on our team right now. We're actually looking, hopefully, to get more as well. So definitely a lot of support there for students. Okay, so what you can expect from us. So whenever you email us, we hope to reply back within 2 to 3 business days. Please keep in mind that we only work during our business hours are usually Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. So we do not work on the weekends. So often students will email us, which is fine, but please understand that we will not reply on the weekends. During peak times, which is usually the first couple of weeks during this the starting of the semesters, advisors are usually available through Zoom, and we usually will do group advisement Zoom meetings, which are really great because usually those are basically you don't need appointments, you just drop in, and it's usually questions that usually all students usually have that are very similar, I should say. It's definitely great to make sure to attend those. We will be sending out information the closer we get to the start of the semester in regards to that. After the 3rd week of classes, we do one-on-one Zoom meetings. You can schedule that through my Viterbi, and an advisor there will be able to assist you We do not have, for graduate students, we actually no longer have an advisor assigned to students. So it's anyone, any CS advisor can assist a student. So that's no longer the case, where students before used to get an advisor assigned to them. What we expect from you, we expect you to please check your USC email account every day. This is really important. It's definitely something to please keep in mind. Whenever you send us an email, it doesn't matter like what the question is. Please always include your USC ID number. This will help facilitate that we can go ahead and answer your question, in a quick manner, like in an appropriate, fast time, so please always include your ID number. And then always try to send us your email from the USC account. When our communication requires a response, please reply within 2 business days. So we usually will try our best not to bombard students with emails from the department. So please, whenever we ask you for your response, please do respond within 2 business days. And then I believe you receive emails, like I said, please definitely go ahead and from my Viterbi to make sure that you receive them. Make sure to whitelist the usc.edu domain in your university email account. Very important. In regards to, we definitely have, in regards to internships and career resources, we definitely are very blessed to have our own Viterbi Career Services Office, which will assist all Viterbi students, in addition to the USC general one. So it's 2 different offices. And this one's really great because the staff there are very aware of how a resume is supposed to look for an engineer student, right? An engineering student, which is very different from a non-engineering student. So we definitely encourage our students to definitely seek them out. It's a great resource. They can go ahead and assist you with resumes, with interviews. I always tell my students, they're the ones who put on the fair, the career services fair is put through them. And so it's a really great resource to have. I always tell my students to, go and see them before the fair, right? So that you can have an updated resume. Usually our students will go ahead and update their resume after they complete each semester, right? So that in case you did any projects, that you include that in that resume. So again, it's a really great resource to have. In addition to that, we also have, the CS department also has the industry affiliates programs. That one right now is currently on hold because of COVID. But as you can see, those are affiliated members that we have. And we will go ahead, once it gets again going, we will go ahead and send out further information in regards to that. Some other common questions is, can I transfer graduate units into my programs? The answer is yes. You can transfer a maximum of 7 units of graduate units towards your MS degree. You first have to contact the registration office so that they can go ahead and evaluate your transfer coursework. If it's found that it is transferable, then you would go ahead and contact the CS department with your syllabus, and then we will go ahead and review it. And then the CS department is the one that does the final approval. Please note that we may do this until you have registered and you are an official USC student. So if you have yet to register, you may not do this procedure yet. You will have to wait until you're fully registered and become a USC student, and then you can start that process. What classes should I register in the first semester? We actually have a list of first semester courses that students should take. We will go ahead and send you further information in regards to registration information. I would say probably in the next few months. Please be patient with us. And then we will give you further information, like I said, on what first semester courses you can choose from. And then also very important, as soon our our continuing students will be able to register. So don't panic. Even if you go on the online schedule classes and you see that classes are starting to fill up, we actually gone ahead and reserved seats for incoming students, for our newly admitted students, I should say. We will go ahead and reserve those seats. And then we also have reserved seats for continuing students. So often is the time that we will not show those reserved seats for our newly admitted students. They will not be reflected on the online schedule classes. So for example, 570, which must be taken by everybody, if you see that class filling up and we've yet to send out that email communication to our newly admitted students, please do not panic, because we have saved seats for that course. However, it will not be reflected on the scheduled classes. So we do that so that our continuing students don't think that there's more seats, since those seats are reserved for newly admitted students. So that's just an FYI. Because often we get that question made where it's like, the classes are filling up, I've yet to receive any communication from you guys, but I'm just explaining to you the procedures so that you do not panic, please. Is there a minimum of maximum classes units requirement for each semester? The answer is yes. For a graduate student to be considered full-time, they must be enrolled in 8 units. If they want to be part-time, they would be enrolled in 4 units. The full-time status is usually for our on-campus students. The part-time is usually for our dense students. For dense students, we recommend that students not take more than 1 course per semester, since you're also working, so it's definitely a heavy load. And again, for our on-campus students, a 2 4-unit course to be full-time. Can I take electives from the other departments? Yes, it may be possible to take a non-CS approved course. We have a list on our CS website, which with already pre-approved courses. You may take up to 4 units, depending on, it may vary if you're doing a specialization, but usually for CSCI general students, the answer is yes, you may take up to 4 units of approved non-CS courses. For new APDS students, only 2 CSCI courses can count towards their elective. Can I change my program to another one within CSCI? The answer is yes. We allow our CS general students to switch over to any CS specialization. The only requirement is that you must have a 3.0 GPA or higher. Now, CS specialization students may switch over to CS general. A GPA is not required. And then also for any student that wants to switch over, you may do so after you complete your first semester. So once you can view your grades on MyUSC, you can then go ahead and send us an email and request for us to switch it. The only exception is for scientists and engineer students. They may not switch out of their specialization. You must complete your, you must remain in scientists and engineers. So you may not switch, but everybody else, again, CS general to CS specialization may do so, or a CS specialization to CS general. The exception is the scientists and engineer students. How can I engage in research as an MS student? You may go ahead and do so by taking what we call our direct research course, which is CSCI 590. You can just go ahead and contact the faculty, and if they are willing to supervise your DR, then you may go ahead and do so. In addition to that, we also have labs. And often, especially the software engineering lab is always looking for students. So you may also approach, if you see the website there, you can go ahead and contact the lab and see if they're looking for students, for MS students to do research. So that's another way to go ahead and do research. Do you have virtual walk-in hours? Yes, we often advise on Zoom. And like I had said previously, in the beginning of the semester, we do group advisement. After the third week, we have one-on-one Zoom meetings with CS advisors. So now we will open it up to questions.
Okay, so I think, Flora, what we should do is take a look at the Q&A here and just perhaps answer some of these live. We want to make sure that there is a bit of time for Rafa and Kanika to definitely speak with you as well. So let's see here. So there was a question about switching the track that we just went over. So can you change back to the general track if you are coming from a specialization? Does it follow the same process? Yes. So anytime a student wants to change, except with the scientists and engineers track, remember that is the one track you cannot switch out of. But if you did want to change from general to a specialization or vice versa, it is the same process. We do ask that you wait until your grades from the first semester post, and then you can notify us that you would like to change your track, and we will go ahead and assist you with that. Switching from the general track to specialization does require a 3.0 GPA. Switching from a specialization back to general does not require that GPA minimum. So that it would be just letting us know once your grades post, and then we can assist you at that time.
I have a question here for MSCS students. Can an internship count towards course credit with graduate advisor approval? The answer is no. We no longer give degree credit for internship courses. So that started, that's been going on for a little bit now. So the answer is no. It's not petitionable. We do not, that's just a policy. We no longer give degree credit for internship courses.
So there's a question about what the maximum size of a particular class could potentially be. Unfortunately, there's not really a standard answer for this one. So it does depend on the class itself. Some of our classes are on the larger side. They're very, very popular. We kind of tend to see, you know, what internships might be saying is important skills to know. We kind of see waves with this. So some semesters, some of the courses, if they are kind of the hot topics of the time, we do need to have them be quite large. We are a very, very big department. So we do need to make sure we can accommodate the students. On the other hand, there are some classes that have a much more intimate feeling. They are smaller. And so you can sometimes see that with some of the elective classes. So it really does depend, but you can look on the schedule of classes, the USC schedule of classes under the computer science department, and we do list what the seat caps are there for registration. And that can kind of give you a sense of what might be for one of the particular courses.
Okay, one of the questions is, if we decide to do a specialization, does it show up on our degree? The answer is specializations only show up in your transcript. So they will not, everyone who graduates with a master's in computer science in their diploma will say a master's in computer science. The specialization is only noted on the transcript.
So another question about kind of seats in classes and asking if there are enough seats in some of the foundational or prerequisite courses. We do try to do our best, as was mentioned in the presentation, to make sure that we are holding seats for our incoming newly admitted students. And so we do try our best to make sure those are held for you guys, especially if they're foundational and kind of required for the start out of some of the specializations. For the very, very popular courses that might be more of electives, we tend to usually make sure there are enough seats for the continuing students. And then as you go through the degree, you will see that you will get those opportunities to take those classes, but likely probably not your first semester, especially if it's a very, very popular class that's not necessarily a foundational course. But again, we really do try our best to make sure we're accommodating as many students as we can.
Okay, so I see that there's a lot of questions in regards to what's the maximum units I can take in a given semester. So the answer is we only allow our students to take up to 4 units. I'm sorry, two 4-unit courses, so a maximum of 8, right? However, in addition to that, if a student wants to do a 1-unit DR, direct research, or a 1-unit CS colloquial course, they may do so. So technically speaking, you could take up to 9 or even maybe 10 units at most. But as far as the 4-unit courses, a maximum of 2 4-unit courses is only permitted per semester. And per semester, we mean fall and spring. Summer is optional, right? And then in the summer, we recommend that students only take 1 course in the summer, since it's the short, in the summer, the sessions are shorter. It can be taught from anywhere from 6 to 8 to 10 weeks. So it's definitely at a faster pace. That's why we advise students to only take 1 course. So again, during the fall and spring semester, we limit to students to only a 2 4-unit course. And again, you're welcome to go ahead and add a 1-unit course if you want to, which would be the direct research or the colloquial as well. Some students have done 2-unit DR. That's fine. So that would put you at 10 units, but that would be the max, absolute max. And then keep in mind also that there is, students are only allowed to take up to 2 units of direct research per degree, as well as the colloquial on a maximum of 2 units per degree as well.
So there is another question about kind of related, how to complete the 28 units sooner than 4 semesters. So this is a question we get quite often, especially since our probably largest program is the Computer Science General, which are those 28 units. So we kind of give a baseline of letting you know that it could very well take you 4 semesters to complete this degree. However, there is a possibility that you could potentially accelerate, and that would be, as Flor kind of noted, taking a course during the summer. We do allow that, and for some students, they are able to accelerate their degree progress a little bit by that. And then if you're taking perhaps 10 units during 1 semester, that would be 2 4-unit classes and perhaps 2 units of directed research or 1 unit of directed research. These are other ways that you can slightly accelerate the degree progress. We do like to remind, however, our summer terms, we do have quite a large demand for classes. So you can see sometimes it is a little bit tough to get into some of them. The other thing is a lot of students want to do internships during the summer too. So while you might think that you really want to accelerate right now, as you actually get into it and are doing it and you're getting these internship opportunities, you might see that the internship opportunity is more beneficial than just getting the degree done as fast as you can. So it could be possible, but again, it's really, every student is a different case-by-case basis, and it really comes down to just how things are working out for you, if you have internships or how you're trying to plan your schedule.
I also see questions in regards to internships. So the CS department does not oversee internships as far as what's allowed and what's not in regards to the policies. That's actually overseen by the VASE office. So students with any questions in regards to internships would have to contact the VASE office, the VASE advisor. The department only informs the student that there's no degree credit for the internship courses. But other than that, everything else, as far as, you know, how many hours am I able to work? Can I take any courses along with the internship? The clearance for the engineering course to register for the internship course, that's all overseen by the VASE office. You also have to fill out a form that OIS issues you And that actually has to be signed by the VASE office. It says academic advisor. I believe it says, yes, academic department advisor, and that actually would be the VASE advisor that would sign that. So any questions in regards to that, you would contact the VASE office.
So now we're going to go ahead and speak with Rafa and Kanika about their time here at USC. So if you both want to introduce yourselves, and we can get started.
So shall I start, for example?
Yeah, go ahead, Rafa.
Okay, so yeah, I'm Rafa Sanchez. I'm a master's student with a specialization in the AA track, and I'm here with a Fulbright scholarship coming from Spain. I'm an international student, and I'm currently in my second semester out of 4, so halfway through.
Hi, so my name is Kanika Jindal, and I am also a master's student at USC Viterbi School of Engineering. I am doing computer science, and I am in my 3rd semester out of 4 semesters.
Okay, great. Thank you, guys. So if you could just kind of talk about what your experience so far has been within your tracks, that would be great, just to give the students a little bit of an idea.
So do you want to start, Kanika, as you are
Sure,
far away from it?
no problem. Thank you. So as I mentioned, this is my 3rd semester. So I started in spring 2021, and the total number of units that is required for my course were 28, and I finished 5 of my major subjects in my first year, and 2 of them I'm taking in my 3rd semester and 4th semester. I see a lot of questions about courses and changing and the experience. So I'm just gonna mainly focus on that. As I mentioned, I took 5 of my courses in my first year. So I took 2 courses in my first semester, 1 course in the summer, and 2 courses again in the second semester. I'm taking 1 more course in this semester, and I plan to take 1 more course in my 4th semester. About my experience at USC, it has been amazing to be here in Los Angeles. The weather here is amazing. Believe me or not, I have been to other states as well. And whenever I come back, I always thank God that I chose USC and not the other college. And I can anytime vouch for the Los Angeles city area. I know that a lot of students think that the neighborhood around USC is not safe, but then to be, if I want to clear on that, every place that you go to is not safe if you're not aware of your belongings or your neighborhoods. So once you are here, you'll be like seeing other USC students near USC campus, and it is pretty much safe. I have personally not experienced anything, and none of my friends have either. So it is safe around here. The next thing I want to talk about is I saw there was a presentation going on about the famous places in Los Angeles. I have been to most of them, and trust me, it always feels like a dream to see all of these places, such as the Hollywood sign. So I live near the campus, and I can see the Hollywood sign from my balcony every day, and I can't be grateful enough for that life. Talking about on-campus jobs, I have been working as a course grader, a teaching assistant, a research assistant, and till I am in my 3rd semester right now, and I have experienced most of the on-campus jobs that a student can do. So I chose to do different kinds of jobs so that I can find my comfortable ground. And once I'm comfortable with what I want to do, I can follow my courses along with my on-campus job. So my take on that will be any job that you do on campus, if you want to do, it is always manageable. As an international student, I am allowed to do 20 hours every week maximum. And if I can manage it with my courses, I am sure that other students like you can also manage it. the availability of jobs on campus is pretty much enough for people who are looking for jobs can get jobs, on campus jobs. And it's not like you have to hustle a lot, since the number of students coming in the next cohort is more, it will be never like that. You want to get a job, but you're not getting a job. There'll be some job that you will get. So that's there as well. And on my internship experience, I have attended, there were career fairs all around the year. And since now we are in person, I've attended 2 of the in-person career fairs at USC as well. And they were amazing. There were so many companies and representatives from those companies that I could talk to. And I cannot thank USC enough ever to provide me with opportunities that they do every day in my course, classes, or through internships or job search. Thank you.
Yeah, so pretty much I don't have any more to add. I will remark that as Kanika says, that is the surroundings of the USC UPC campus are safe enough. We have like a lot of what we call yellow jackets, which are people that are seeking for our safety all day long. DPS is doing a great work too, so it's a safe place. And regarding the opportunities on campus, regarding jobs and also research collaborations, there are plenty of them. They will get to your mail, and I'm sure that any of them will fit you. And eventually you will find some on-campus job or research collaboration. So I am currently collaborating with a research group in the ISI in Marina del Rey, and we are applying computer vision techniques to health problems. More concretely, we're analyzing images, brain magnetic resonance images, to early detect other neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's or Parkinson's. And yeah, it's pretty much plenty of opportunities for you for building up your career and adding them to your CV, and hopefully finding an internship as I did. I'm gonna join for next summer Amazon as a software developer engineer intern. And I think that you have like a pretty good candidate in USC Viterbi for doing your master's in computer science, for sure. And congratulations everyone on your admissions, by the way.
Can you both talk a little bit? We have some questions about internships in particular. I know you both kind of touched on it a little bit, but could you talk a little bit more about what that process was like for you guys to get the internships, and any kind of important information that you think these students would benefit from knowing?
So yeah, the thing with internships is that you have to match, like your skills are what they are, you can work on them, but you have to match what the company needs in that specific moment of time. But it's pretty easy because USC is like, they like USC, companies like USC. And as you said, we have like that Silicon Beach area, where all the big tech companies are located, and they know USC and they like USC. So whenever they see that you have a degree, or you're currently pursuing a degree, master's in computer science at USC, they are most likely to pass you the first round of the interviewing process, of the selection process. So I interviewed this year with Google and now Amazon. And Google rejected me, but Amazon did not. So yeah, I think that it pretty much, you will have opportunities for sure.
So as Rafa mentioned that USC, they like USC. So I'll also focus on that yeah, USC is very reputed among companies here in California or in other parts of the US. I am going to intern at Microsoft during the summer, and I interviewed with a lot of companies, and all the opportunities that I got to interview with, I think that is mainly because first of all, USC was there on my resume, and second of all, as Rafa mentioned, that I aligned all my skills along with what the company requires at that time. The process for interviewing and applying, there is a USC portal through which you can apply to different kinds of jobs, roles, or internships. And for example, companies like Apple and Google, I believe I saw their job postings, particularly for USC on the USC portal. So it's like a different portal than the regular portal that you apply to. For example, as I mentioned, Apple. So if you want to apply to Apple through their website, it will be a lot of candidates coming from different parts of the world and applying there. But if you apply through USC's portal on this for the same job role, you will be filtered out by a lot of students. So that is definitely there. And USC does help the name, and the coursework that you do here also helps a lot in getting an internship.
Thank you, guys. I guess one last question for you both. If there's anything important that you think students could benefit from knowing in general, especially kind of acclimating to USC campus if you're coming from maybe another country or just another city, and how easy it can be to get involved with things on campus, I think that would be good for the students to hear.
So I think that USC has a really good engaging thing around the campus because it's located in LA. So LA is a really open city that is really welcoming. I didn't expect that. So like the adaptation process to the new city was really smooth, was really easy. And regarding the engagement, there's a ton of events during the first 2 weeks so that you can attend and meet new people and make friends. And there's dinners, there's concerts, there's like a ton of events, like I said, to engage. And there's always each semester we have like that, like the fair in which every student group takes a post and offer positions for students to enroll them. And there are a ton. There's ACM, there's blockchain groups, there's the graduate students association. I mean, there's a lot of events, and USC makes it easy to adapt to the new country if you're coming from abroad and the new city.
So adding to what Rafa said already, I am a part of Viterbi Graduate Student Association, and I am a senator there. My experience there have been of 2 semesters, and we organize a lot of events around the campus, and there are pretty much all kinds of associations and student groups that you can find on campus. You think of a name and it'll be there. So for example, tennis, any kind of sport, any kind of game if you want, or if you are looking for an academic group, that is also there. So as Rafa mentioned, there are a tons of events going on campus. So my favorite thing is the late night SC. So there are small events that USC organizes for to keep students sane during the semester. So whenever we have exams coming on or a midterm is coming on, so USC organizes a lot of events which can decrease your pressure in a kind that you engage with other students, do painting, or go and just sit and chill with other students. So I really like those kind of events, and there are a ton of those events happening on campus every day. So that is a good experience.
Thank you both so much for giving some insight into your experience. We really appreciate it. Kevin, is there anything else that you guys were going to go over today?
Nope, that's it. We want to thank you guys so much for all of your insight and wisdom. Thank you, Mara. Thank you, Floor, for providing your expertise on a lot of these questions. I know there are a ton of questions still in the chat that we didn't get to, but there are going to be more opportunities for you guys to ask these questions over the next few weeks. As I mentioned before in the presentation, two deadlines quickly coming up, April 15th for your financial documents and May 1st for your statement of intent and commitment deposits. So you want to make sure you get that stuff in, and highly encourage you to continue to connect with our student ambassadors. And we look forward to seeing you guys all in the fall. Everyone take care. Thank you, CS department. Thank you to our students. You guys are great insight as well. And we appreciate all that you do. Everyone take care.